Number 5 is the 2025 Toyota Sequoia Capstone, the flagship trim of Toyota's full-size SUV. It's the one you buy when you want truck bones with luxury on top. The 2025 model hits U.S. dealers in late 2024 with an MSRP that starts in the low to mid $80,000 and 4WD versions sitting in the mid 80Ks before options. For the money, you're getting an SUV that can tow, carry family, and still walk into any valet line like it owns the curb. But the looks are only half the story. The Capstone wears a massive vertical bar grille, deep LED signature lighting, and chrome that doesn't whisper it announces. It rides on exclusive 22-inch wheels, planted wide under squared shoulders and crisp body lines. Power running boards drop to meet you. A panoramic roof opens the whole cabin to the sky. Under that stance is Toyota's TNGA-F body-on-frame platform, the same rugged architecture that underpins Toyota's toughest trucks. So it's not just a pretty face, and because the design is tow-friendly and purposeful, you feel the capability before you even start it. Still, the cabin is where the Capstone flexes the hardest. Open the door and it's immediately premium. Semi-aniline leather in a bold black and white theme, stitched tight over supportive seats. The dash and doors carry real open-pore American walnut, and acoustic glass hushes the cabin. Front seats are heated and ventilated. Second row captain's chairs keep passengers comfortable, and the third row powers, slides, and folds to work with an adjustable cargo shelf system. In front of you is a 12.3-inch digital cluster and a large 14-inch center touchscreen running Toyota's latest infotainment with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. A crisp JBL premium audio system fills the space, and a head-up display keeps your eyes forward. It looks like a luxury lounge, but the drivetrain says, "Let's move." Under the hood, the Sequoia Capstone runs Toyota's i-Force Max Hybrid twin-turbo 3.5-liter V6. You get 437 horsepower and 583 lb-ft of torque through a 10-speed automatic with rear-wheel drive standard and a proper 4WD system available with a 2-speed transfer case. Hit the throttle, and the electric motor fills in instantly, so the big SUV surges with a clean wave of torque. When it's time to work, you're looking at over 9,000 pounds of towing capability when properly equipped, supported by trailer guidance and straight path backup tech that takes the stress out of tight spots. Expect around 20 millisieverts combined, strong for something this large. Add available load-leveling rear air suspension and adaptive dampers, and the ride settles even with a family and gear on board. Safety tech is full suite. Lane centering, adaptive cruise, blind spot monitoring, rear cross traffic alert, and a 360-degree camera to keep big SUV nerves in check. And yet, there's one thing people still debate. Why it earns a spot, some owners want the old-school V8 soundtrack, and the hybrid battery raises the cargo floor a bit. Facts worth knowing. But the Capstone answers with quiet luxury, more torque than the V8 ever had, and better mileage for the size. Tows hard, rides calm, and wears its success with confidence. That balance is why it's number 5 on this list. And if you like presence with polish, the next one turns up the aggression while dropping weight. What it does next will surprise you. Number 4 takes a pickup frame and turns it into a 7-seat bruiser you can use every day. The 2026 Toyota Fortuner is built for the guy who actually leaves the pavement, but still wants a quiet cabin and clean tech. Sales start rolling out in early 2026 across Southeast Asia, with other regions following through the year. Depending on your market and spec, the price lands roughly between the equivalent of $40,000 and $60,000 USD, once taxes and duties are baked in. The positioning is simple: rugged first, refined second, and that blend is why it earned a spot on this list. The stance tells you what you're dealing with. It wears a boxy profile with a tall hood, a deep, upright grille, and crisp LED lighting that gives it a modern edge. Higher trims step up to 20-inch wheels and chunkier rubber. But the body still looks purposeful, not overstyled. Real ground clearance keeps the belly off rocks. Skid plates protect the bits that matter, and roof rails stand ready for a weekend's worth of luggage or a full-length surfboard. Even the tailgate is built to work, with a low load lip and wide opening so gear slides in without a fight. It looks tough because it actually is. Open the door, and the new cabin shuts out noise better than before. You get a clean dash with a large center screen, think 12 to 14 inches depending on trim, and a digital driver display that keeps a tight focus on range, torque flow, and off-road data. Wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto come online fast. 360-degree camera makes parking a boxy SUV feel easy. And the top audio system is JBL tuned for the long drives. Front seats are supportive and can be ventilated. The second row slides to balance legroom and cargo, and the third row folds flat when you need the full cargo bay. Multiple USB-C ports, wireless charging, and an available panoramic roof rounded out. It's the kind of interior you won't mind sitting in for hours. Where it separates itself is under the skin. The Fortuner sticks to its ladder frame roots, sharing bones with the Hilux. Power comes from the 2.8-liter GD series diesel paired with a 48-volt mild hybrid system. Output sits around 201 horsepower with up to 500 Nm of torque, fed through a 6-speed automatic. The hybrid assists smooth stop-start in the city, fills in torque right off idle, and helps fuel economy without making the truck feel complicated. Selectable 4WD with a low-range transfer case, a locking rear differential, multi-terrain select, and downhill assist are on the menu, so you're not pretending when the trail gets rutted. Towing capability reaches up to roughly 3.1 tons, depending on market rules and spec, which means boats, campers, or a twin-axle trailer aren't a problem. On the road, the ride is more settled than the older versions thanks to updated suspension tuning and better sound insulation. Steering feels lighter at parking speeds, yet stays steady on the highway. It's still a body-on-frame SUV, so the third row is best for kids or short hops, but you gain a quieter cabin, better throttle response from that mild hybrid assist, and fewer trips to the pump. There are trade-offs. Prices have climbed, and in some regions, waiting lists can stretch longer than you'd like. Purists will miss a big displacement engine option, but the torque you get here is real, and the running costs make sense for daily life. The draw of the Fortuner has always been durability and confidence. For 2026, it finally adds the tech and polish to match its reputation. That's why it holds number 4. Safety tech is up to date with the latest Toyota driver assist features, including lane keeping, adaptive cruise, blind spot monitoring, and rear cross-traffic alert. Exactly what you want in a tall 7-seat rig. We're starting at number 3 with a sleeper that hides speed behind a family badge, the 2025 Toyota Grand Highlander Platinum. The number 1 limo will flat out blow you away. Let's open strong. This one earns its spot because it does everything: commute, road trip, and weekend flex. It's on sale now as a 2025 model, with platinum pricing from the mid-50,000s and the hybrid max version landing in the low 60,000s depending on how you spec it. You get big body comfort and a calm cabin, then with one press it turns quick and confident. That dual personality is rare at this size. First look, and it hits like a tailored suit. Tall hood, squared shoulders, and a grille that means business. Platinum brings crisp LED lighting, 20-inch wheels, a panoramic roof rails, and a hands-free liftgate for easy loading. The lines are clean and tight, so it photographs like a luxury truck without the flashy badge. Blacked-out accents turn it into stealth mode, and the stance says trip leader, not follow. And that's before you find out what's under the skin. Here's where it surprises people. 3 powertrains exist, but the Platinum's headliner is Hybrid Max, 362 horsepower, and a thumping 400 lb-ft. It's all-wheel drive by default, launches to 60 in about 5.6 seconds, and tows up to 5,000 pounds. Drive modes swap from calm to sharp. It stays planted in the rain, and the steering feels secure at highway speeds. The hybrid system keeps it efficient for the size, hovering in the high 20s combined, so you're not punished at the pump. It's quick when you want, quiet when you don't. But speed is only half the story. Open the door, and it's space everywhere. 3 real rows. Grown adults fit in the third row without knees in the dashboard. With the seats down, cargo stretches to nearly 97.5 cubic feet, so bikes, boards, and boxes all fit in one run. Up front, a 12.3-inch digital cluster meets a 12.3-inch touchscreen with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, wireless charging, 7 USB-C ports, and smart storage keep gear out of the way. The Platinum adds heated and ventilated front seats, heated second-row captain's chairs, tri-zone climate, JBL audio, a head-up display, a digital rear-view mirror, and a 360-degree camera that makes tight parking easy. Toyota Safety Sense 3.0 watches the road with lane tracing, adaptive cruise, and pre-collision tech. It feels calm, confident, and ready for long days. And that calm is exactly why the next part lands harder. If you want a vehicle that carries people like a luxury shuttle, moves like a sports sedan when needed, and looks sharp doing it, the Grand Highlander Platinum checks the boxes. It's the grown man solution, commanding, useful, and reliable, with just enough edge to keep it fun. But that wasn't the whole story. Number 2 takes the attitude up a notch and trades family polish for something a lot more primal. Stay locked. What comes next changes the tone fast. If presence could be engineered, this is the blueprint. Number 2 is the 2025 Toyota Century SUV, the executive SUV that speaks softly and carries a very big stick. It's the one you roll up in when you want the whole street to lower its voice. This is Toyota's flagship, built in small numbers and sold through select channels in Japan. Deliveries started late 2023 and continue through 2025 in tight allocations. The number you need to know, about 25 million yen, which lands around $170,000 to $180,000 before bespoke touches. It's a serious ticket, and that's the point. When you see one, you're not looking at options, you're looking at access. And the surprise is how much hardware is hiding under the formality. The face is a wall of confidence, a tall grille set with the hand-finished Phoenix crest. The body stands square-shouldered and calm, with two-tone paint that looks liquid under light. Acoustic glass hushes the cabin. Wheel choices reach into the 20-inch range, and the stance reads, private security included. There's even a sliding rear door configuration that opens a wide path for a clean entry in tight spaces. It's a luxury suit that fits like armor, but it doesn't just look composed. It moves that way. Under the skin sits a 3.5-liter V6 plug-in hybrid with all-wheel drive from an electric rear axle. Output is around 406 horsepower, delivered in a way that feels effortless. It leaves quietly in EV mode, then surges when you need to pass. Adaptive air suspension and rear-wheel steering shrink the SUV around you, making U-turns and parking feel easy. There's a unique rear comfort drive setting that actively smooths pitch and roll so the second-row passengers barely feel the road. It's tailored control, no waste, no drama. And that calm sets up the cabin to do its best work. Inside, it's a 4-seat sanctuary. The rear chairs power recline, extend ottomans, and soften your day with deep cushioning. You're looking at hand-finished wood, leather, or classic wool trim, and thick carpeting that swallows sound. A 14-inch center screen and a 12.3-inch driver display handle the tech up front, while rear passengers get their own screens, a fold-out table for a laptop, a chilled compartment for drinks, wireless charging, and privacy shades. The audio system wraps the cabin in a rich, quiet stage. Safety is exhaustive. Lane tracing, adaptive cruise, proactive braking, and a 360-degree view for smooth arrivals. It's not just transportation, it's a moving office that keeps you sharp between meetings. And it still has a trunk big enough for weekend gear. This SUV is built for the man who leads without raising his voice. It's discreet, powerful, and impossibly calm. An apex Toyota that trades flash for authority. But the mood is about to change. Number 1 drops the silk gloves and brings out serious muscle. The kind that makes city blocks stop and stare. Stay ready. When you want the street to part without a word, this is the play. Number 1 is the 2025 Toyota Century Limousine, a stretched, hand-finished statement that turns every arrival into a moment. It doesn't shout, it makes everything else go quiet. This isn't a showroom special, it's commissioned. The Limousine rides on the Century sedan and goes through a coach-built stretch, with 2025 deliveries handled in small numbers. The base sedan sits around 25 million yen, about 170–180K. The Limousine build build moves that into the 35 to 55 million yen range depending on length and options, which lands roughly between 250k and 380k or more. You're paying for space, silence, and craftsmanship you can feel in the first 10 meters. Look at the shape. Long hood, square shoulders, and an extended rear section that promises legroom measured in feet, not inches. The grille frames the phoenix crest, the paint looks poured on, and the doors pull themselves closed with a soft click. Chrome is used like punctuation, just enough to underline the lines. Acoustic glass and thick seals mute the city before you even start the engine. The overall effect is calm dominance. It's the rare car that makes even loud places feel respectful, and the way it moves backs that up. Underneath is Toyota's 5.0-liter V8 hybrid, about 430 horsepower delivered with a velvet glove. It pulls away on electric torque, then blends in the V8 so smoothly you watch the tack, not the road, to know it happened. Rear-wheel drive keeps the feel traditional, and the adaptive suspension irons out broken streets. Steering is light, body motions are measured, and wind noise barely exists. You don't chase speed here. You glide past stress, which is exactly what the cabin is built to protect. Open the rear door and it's a private suite. There are 2 executive seats, both power reclining with ottomans. Heating, ventilation, and massage keep you focused. Thick carpets and hand-finished wood calm the eye. Leather is available, but the Century's signature wool remains a favorite for that hushed, old-world feel. Between the seats sits a cooled compartment for drinks and a control panel for climate, audio, and lighting. Rear screens handle entertainment and calls, while fold-out tables make a laptop session clean and easy. Privacy shades rise at a touch. The cabin is so quiet that conversations happen at half voice, and that's the entire point. You arrive sharper than you left. Safety tech surrounds the experience with a 360-degree view, lane and cruise assistance, and precise parking sensors, so every drop-off feels unhurried. This limousine is built for the man who doesn't need to prove anything. It's dignified, confident, and utterly focused on keeping you at your best.